Hi, I'm Phil Thompson. Thanks for joining me for Phil's Finance Fix. So today I'm going to be talking about self-managed super funds. So what is it? Self-managed super fund is exactly what it's called. A super fund that's managed by, you guessed it, yourself. So some people call them self-managed funds or SMSFs or DIY funds, but they're all the same thing. So firstly, a superannuation fund is a vehicle for the purpose of providing retirement savings for the member, and it's no different to a self-managed super fund. So an SMSF has several rules that other super funds don't have. An SMSF can only have a maximum of 4 members within the fund, and each of those members need to either be a trustee of the fund or a director of the trustee company. So essentially meaning that they've all got control of the fund. So the advantages of an SMSF are control and tax. So as a trustee of a SMSF fund, you've got total control over the investment decisions. And also investments within an SMSF that are otherwise wouldn't be allowed and that are quite popular are things like commercial premises that the member's business is leasing and also residential real estate. However, there are very strict rules around the separation between yourself as a trustee of the fund and yourself as a member. We also have control over a death benefit payment, which can give us greater control as a trustee of the fund if one of the members pass away to pay out the funds to exactly where you want it to go, which can also be tax effective. And we also have control over retirement benefits, and they can be highly personalised and flexible, meaning as the trustee you can determine what assets you want to sell down to pay out a retirement income. The tax effectiveness of an SMSF is also quite attractive. As the trustee, you've got the ability to develop and implement an investment strategy aimed at maximising the after-tax returns of the fund, which otherwise you wouldn't be able to do. The other potential tax benefit can also happen upon retirement when the member is moving their assets from an accumulation account to a pension account within the SMSF, as there's no capital gains trigger and therefore you don't need to pay capital gains tax, while other super funds they may trigger capital gains tax. So to give you an example of this, if you had a superannuation balance of $600,000 at retirement and an unrealised capital gain of $100,000, and if you were to move from accumulation to pension, you'd have to pay $7,500 in capital gains tax. So some of the disadvantages of running an SMSF are things like your obligations and your legal requirements as a trustee of the fund. So you're bound by law to responsibly manage the super fund for the benefit of the member, of which, if the fund is non-compliant, can result in extra taxes and also fines. Also, some additional administration and compliance tasks must be done by yourself as the trustee of the fund, which can be difficult and time consuming, such as keeping up to date with all relevant legislation and making sure that the fund doesn't breach any legal or regulatory requirements. Other things to consider that can be both advantages and disadvantages are the cost and the fund performance. So the cost with all superannuation funds is generally broken down to administration fees and investment fees. And this is no different for SMSFs. And fees within an SMSF are very dependent on how you're invested and also the cost of the tax return and the audit and the advice that you receive. The long-term fund performance can make a massive difference on your retirement benefit. So for an example, if we have two 40-year-olds with a super balance of $100,000 with contributions of $10,000 per year through their employer contributions, when they reach retirement, let's say at age 70, one fund's after fees and taxes performance was 7%, and the others was 8%, would see a difference between both accounts of $400,000. Thanks heaps for watching, and if you've enjoyed this video, please hit the subscribe button on the side and below, and use the comment section below if you've got any questions about SMSFs, and don't forget to like us on Facebook. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.